Witness Sports.
Hey, welcome to Double OT with Ruthie Polinsky. I'm Yanni Karakis. It's been a minute.
Been a minute, hot minute.
Long time. We've been on different schedules at Celtics and so forth.
I know,
It's
I
good
feel
to
like
be
this
back.
is the first time I've seen you in person.
I know.
Usually I'm just talking to you through a live shot.
Through emojis and text and on Insta message or whatever that is. All right, you were at the Pats today.
Crazy.
Back
in on my
year
home
two.
turf.
This is year 6 for me on the Pats. It's
Year
nuts.
2 for me. I wasn't even here for OTAs last year.
Yeah, so you haven't even been here a year. All right, we're going to talk about like bigger takeaways from today.
Okay.
But we got to start with Tom Brady.
And Gronk.
And Gronk. We'll weave some Gronk in this, but let's start with Brady. Is this a big deal that he's not at OTAs for the first time in his 19 years? Reportedly, he'll be there for mandatory minicamp in early June. Is this a big deal?
Well, it's a big deal because people are making it a big deal.
Well, we're making it a big deal.
The media.
We're the media. Do you think the common man cares?
No. Maybe. I think people are Team Brady in this situation. I think people are going to back him, whatever he decides to do, as long as he comes and shows up and takes people back to the Super Bowl. Takes his team back to the Super Bowl. If he doesn't, if he shows up and he is not all in, and what I am concerned about is that it's always been Tom Brady, first one in, last one out, Patriot way. I'm the leader of this team. I want to be.
Are you willing to give your life, like he said in his documentary?
Episode 1.
Episode 1, and then changed course in the last episode.
He did change course, and I feel like he's changing course, and this is a perfect example of it. He wants to be with his family. He reportedly was at TB12 today, so that's a little confusing. That confuses me.
That's sticking it to him.
That's saying, hey, guy, and it got out that he was at TB12. So however it got out, it got out. But that's saying to me that this is a big deal because he's still preparing for the football season, just not with the New England Patriots.
This is absolutely a big deal because Tom Brady always says the process starts in May and June. You lay brick by brick the foundation that pays off in January and February. He loves the grind. He loves the 24/7, 12-month, 365 routine on playing football. So I think this really kills him that he's not out there, but he's sticking to his guns. He's drawing a line in the sand, and he's saying, I'm not going to show up until I absolutely have to be there, which is mandatory minicamp in June. But you don't think Tom Brady was sitting on his couch today with his kids probably at school? Like, with all due respect to the family excuse, he's been doing this 18 years. He's found ways to manage his time around his family once this happens. And OTAs are a huge commitment. There's 10 of them between now and June, and then you have some time off before July.
So what do you think the motive is?
So I think he's still mad about the Alex Guerrero thing with Bill Belichick. I think he wants a new contract, and I think there's a little bit of a family deal component to it. I think he's also not only dealing with Bill Belichick, but dealing with his wife, saying, all right, if I'm going to continue to play at 40, 41, 42, I'm going to pull back a little. Maybe I won't be there in May, and you'll have me more. But, like, he was in New York, according to his Instagram post the other day. He's in Foxborough today. He's sleeping in his own bed. It's not like he's in Peru or Qatar doing all these appearances. And it's just the whole thing the Patriot way has been built on is the best player of all time buying into the Patriot way, team before self. And if he's not buying in anymore, what kind of trickle-down effect does that have on the rest of the guys? They all have to answer the questions from us today. Where's Tom Brady? What's it like without Tom Brady? So I think it is the deal. Does it impact the play on the field come the season? Probably not. But if they come out 2-4 and he's struggling, are people going to be like, hey, Tom should have been there in May. You should have been working with Jordan Matthews, getting those extra reps because you and he aren't having a good rapport.
Right. I totally feel that. I totally believe that. But that is going to be the telling point is how does he perform on the field? Because if he performs like he has, maybe we see a small decrease because, oh yeah, he's 41. If we see a small decrease, but he's still there, they get to the Super Bowl, New England is not going to care that he wasn't there in May.
Yeah, and
it's all about the Super Bowl.
I'll say one more thing. His whole career, he's taken less money. He's been selfless. He's been a leader. And now in year 19, he's not doing that. So it's a departure of what he's always done.
Right.
So I think that's notable.
Absolutely.
And
I think
the last episode,
contract-
you saw him evolve from Tom vs. Time episode 1 to 5. At the end, he's questioning if he's doing this for the right reasons.
Right. And when you see Matt Ryan making that much money, and
It's a
you see,
respect thing, yeah.
it's a respect. He beat Matt Ryan.
And listen,
in case you
he's
forgot.
not enjoying his job day to day as much as he had been,
Right.
according to that
And
documentary.
maybe feels like he's missing out on his kids' lives. Maybe that was a revelation he had either post Super Bowl or in the
But,
making of that documentary.
Your day-to-day, Ruthie, during OTAs is far different than a playoff game week.
They're
He's not
daily.
diving into,
Right.
you're there maybe 8 hours, it's a normal work day. He can
Right.
send the kids off to school or pick them up after the day. It's not as comprehensive as a study, practice, eat, rest during the playoffs.
Right.
I'm not
It's-
buying the family thing entirely.
Right.
Because
All
they're
right.
in town. They're in town.
They're in town. They're here. His kids are maybe at daycare. I think Giselle is traveling. I haven't even seen her.
She was somewhere. Someone was saying on
She's
the
always
radio.
traveling. It's gonna. All right. All right. Let's go to the next question. You want to?
What do we got?
Biggest. This is a funny question. I didn't even see how you phrased this. Biggest non-Brady OTA takeaway, in your opinion?
My biggest non-Brady OTA takeaway has to do with Brady. In that, I got a glimpse today. I'm consumed by the Brady palace intrigue. I got a glimpse today in life after Tom Brady, and it doesn't look good because obviously the Patriots are going to set themselves up in a better situation than Brian Hoyer and Danny Etling. But you look out on the field and you see two red jerseys. One's Brian Hoyer, and one's Danny Etling wearing 58. Like he's a JV player trying to make varsity. There's no extra jerseys, and they throw him one that's like in the hamper. And I just thought to myself, God, once Brady's gone, this is going to be a real like average situation going forward.
All the rookies haven't gotten their numbers yet. It's not just Etling.
It was just so ghetto.
And-
58?
And
That's a lot.
Mike Reese asked Belichick about it today. Why, what's the deal with the rookies not getting their numbers yet? And Bill was like, "We're dealing with way more important things at this time."
They're so buttoned up and they can't get
And Mike
numbers?
Reese followed up there and said, "Well, is that the point? That the numbers aren't this? You guys are trying to focus on it."
And they've had
Belichick
these where
said,
they've had
"I don't know."
numbers. There have been OTAs where they kind of just wear T-shirts or whatever. All right, I'll give you a non-Brady related.
Yeah, that was so
My biggest
Brady
one,
related.
Julian Edelman, back in the flesh. You forget how big this guy is to the Patriots offense because he didn't play all of last year. So critical for Tom Brady, his security blanket. It's been so long since he and Gronk have played together on the same field, so looking forward to that because Gronk was out in 14. So here we are, Edelman and Gronk. I think the Pats offense can perhaps me without
about-
Amendola. Maybe struggling at first, but potentially more dynamic than last year.
How about Hightower, Dante, back on the field too? I was
Yes.
excited to see that
Yep.
today. He's a large man.
You were there, so what were your
He's
big
a large
takeaway?
man,
Dante Hightower.
I didn't really. I feel like I didn't get to experience him up close
When
and
did
personal
he go
last
out
year.
last year?
Early. Was it
Yeah.
the Panthers game?
He's like Gronk. They're always out.
Always out. I hope he's not out this year
He's
because
a big
that was a
boy.
big loss. But it was cool to see Julian Edelman. I literally didn't
Oh, yeah.
get to interact with Edelman in the locker room at all because he went out in the
Rookies,
preseason.
any other?
I will say this about Danny Etling. He looked athletic to me.
Did he?
Throwing the ball, he's got a good build.
Tall?
Tall. I don't know. I wasn't like, I was
didn't-
like, this guy has a good aura about him. I
Okay.
did feel bad because the media swarmed him today when he was leaving the field. And he was asked about, have you been in contact with Tom Brady? And he clearly had a script of,
Right.
what he was supposed to say in that situation. And it was very much like, I'm just trying to get to learn and
Right,
know
right,
everyone's
right.
names. And so, he almost was like laughing. So I felt like he was a little young there in that moment. But like,
Right.
of course, the kid's 21, whatever.
His stats
But
weren't
I
particularly good in college.
They weren't particularly good. But was Tom Brady? I mean, I don't know. He was fine. He went to Michigan. This kid went to LSU. He had good competition.
Yeah, I mean, I think Brady was a better college quarterback than this kid, but yeah.
But
I think he's a
that
camp.
was
I
a
don't
good-
even know if he makes the team.
I wouldn't
if they're
say
going to
that-
hold three quarterbacks.
I would not say that the future is not bright for
Oh.
life after Brady.
Yeah, it's not bright, especially at the
I
quarterback
wouldn't
position.
say that.
Until they get the successor, it's not bright.
Well, I just feel like everyone's so down on Danny Etling.
If
like,
Tom
no one
Brady went
knows.
down tomorrow, 9
Hoyer?
wins, maybe. I don't know.
Win the division.
All right, let's switch gears to the Celtics,
All right.
shall we? I know you had a big birthday dinner last night.
I know I did. I got to watch the third and fourth quarter.
All right. Takeaways to
ugly.
what happened specifically last night and in Cleveland, where the Celtics continue to stink on the road.
Do you want to see what the Celtics did in Cleveland? This is what
Fetal position? What's
they
going on?
got. No,
You're
they hid.
I don't know what was going to happen there.
Under the table, they curled up into a ball, and they were scared.
They were
and
scared?
I was so mad because they went out LeBron in Boston, and I don't know if it's the comfort of being on their own turf that made that, but they were so scared, and they played so different in Cleveland than I felt like they could play at the Garden.
Oh, it's
and
been night and day.
Night and day, and they're not playing with that spark, that energy, that like young fire that everyone's loved about this team. They were missing layups, missing dunks. Like in the fourth quarter, when it's a 9-point game, like you have a chance there to win one in Cleveland. You could win. Stop laughing.
You are so fired up about this.
I could not believe last night. I will say this. I don't know if this is like a not good media protocol, but the officiating has been brutal.
I don't think they got hosed
in either
last
way.
night. I think the Cavs only had a handful
sides.
of free throws.
I think everyone wants to see, not everyone, but I think the majority of people want to see LeBron in the finals. And I think Cleveland.
You're a conspiracy theorist?
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm really not. But I think that it's a little bit in everyone's head. And I felt like the Celtics were in it for a minute last night, got a couple of bad calls, and then it was out of reach. It was what was it, 7 points in the fourth quarter?
The Cavs just always kept coming back.
If that game was a 4 or 5 point game in the final minute, Brad Stevens could have won it.
Yeah, I agree. In close games, Brad Stevens gives you that edge. Last night was not the first time, but it was the most profound time the Celtics really missed Kyrie Irving. They needed someone who said, get out of the way, I'm going to score, I'm going to take you on my back and lead you to a road victory. It is embarrassing how badly they've played on the road. You have home court advantage, sure, win every home game and you advance. But can you just win one road game? And that goes for the Cavs, too. Can we just have a competitive game where everyone's like, all right, we're at home, we're going to win. Conversely, we're on the road, tough night, we're going to lose. Like, can someone win a game on the road? It's
frustrating.
And in the other conference, too, all these games by double digits, like, can we have some tight game, close game moments down the stretch? Everything you mentioned, missed dunks.
Layups in the final minute.
The switching on LeBron where he ends up on Terry Rozier and abuses him. He just backs him down, goes in the lane, hits that little turnaround jumper. And then all of a sudden, these Cavs guys at home are shooting lights out. And then I expect the Celtics guys at home to shoot lights out. So, as Brad Stevens said last night, best of 3 now, 2 of 3 games. Celtics get 2 at home. If they lose Game 5, I don't like their chances. They need to win tomorrow. And then I don't even know if they win, Ruthie, because then Game 6, and we're going to talk about going into the series, Game 6 in Cleveland, but then Game 7. That's
LeBron
one of those
in a Game 7?
Yeah, all right, I got
terrifying.
this. Because let's be honest, LeBron can score whenever he wants.
Whenever he wants.
And if he, in the fourth quarter, wants to take the ball down 15 straight times, he can. Let's go to the next question, which is how does the rest of the series go?
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you, I think the Celtics win 5. All right, so before the series, I said Cavs in 6. Which still could happen.
Still could happen.
You said Celtics in 7.
Celtics in 7.
I'm now saying, so
we're
going to rework.
I just want to say
that was good. That was good. Not a lot of people playing the Cavs. I'm reworking, saying Cavs in 7. I have Cavs. I have the Celtics winning Game 5, and then the Cavs winning 6 and 7. Because I like the Cavs even on the road in a Game 7 because LeBron's the best player.
Right.
And it's just showing you the last couple games. Like, the Celtics have been overachieving, and these guys have been a great story. But push come to shove, you need a big road win or a big bucket. You've got to go with LeBron James.
I really wanted the Celtics to win last night. I really wanted them to win last night.
I think they would have won the series if they won last night.
They would have won the series if they would have won last night. And let's all just take a deep breath and remember that the Celtics team, we didn't expect them to get it out of the first round against the Bucks. Giannis.
Well, it took them 7.
Giannis. I mean, the world didn't expect them to get past them. So, in that respect, this is unbelievable. I will be sad if they lose they win the first 2, they lose the next 4.
Are you
know?
are you sticking with Celtics in 7?
Of course. I'm
So
a
win
diehard.
5, lose 6.
Win at home, lose 6, win at
So
home.
every
But like
home
that
game-
really scares me. Now I'm just like scared about LeBron in a game 7.
So every home game, that team wins.
Correct. Which, it's disappointing. That was kind of my feeling last night. It would have been really, really encouraging to see the Celtics win on the
Also,
road last
Jaylen
night.
Brown played like garbage. Marcus Smart was hucking threes. I mean,
Right. It was.
they'll play better at home.
They'll
But
play better at home.
all right, let's finish with the Sox. All right,
Sox.
JD Martinez and Mookie Betts, both MVP candidates, tied for the league in home runs. They're 1-2 in average. I guess the question, and I don't know if there's a wrong answer. It's a good question for the Red Sox fans. Better year, Betts or Martinez? I'm going to say Betts.
Me too.
More impressive, I think, is Martinez from a surprising standpoint. Gosh, I didn't think he'd be worth the money they gave him. Like,
Yeah, you were
I
down
was
on
fine.
him.
I was fine with the contract because you needed pop in your lineup. They didn't score a lot of runs last year, especially power numbers. So I was fine with the contract, but I didn't think he would live up to it. And granted, I didn't watch a whole lot of JD Martinez while he was with Arizona. So more of a pleasant surprise. We've expected this from Mookie, but he was MVP runner-up 2 years ago. Last year, a bit of a down year for his standards. But those power numbers in the leadoff position, setting the table, he's leading the league in average, plays good defense, runs the bases well. So he's I think, had the better year for the Red Sox. But for the Red Sox to have that at 1 and 4, and then good hitters in 2 and 3, it's been awesome.
It's crazy. I'm going to say Mookie too, but kind of for the opposite reason, because I think JD, we're paying you to do this. Mookie, you had a down year last year. We didn't really know what you were going to be this year coming in. A down year, respectively. But I am shocked. You look at Mookie Betts and you're like, this guy is leading the league in home runs. Like I think he's been the most surprising, the most influential, the most. He kind of is. I think he's kind of umbrellaed the Red Sox, kind of like mantra this year. Like he kind of I can't speak words today.
He epitomizes the Red Sox?
He epitomizes. That's the word I was looking for. He epitomizes what the Red Sox are right now. I feel like he's a leader on this team.
Yeah.
But in that respect, I think that he is having the better year, and that he's having the more surprising year. We're not, we didn't expect this from him necessarily leading into the year to lead the league in home runs and average.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
and maybe steal an MVP from Mike Trout, who
and I think almost JD Martinez. We were talking about this in the office. I think JD Martinez is almost underrated how amazing he's been, because people were unsure about what he would be coming here. Is he worth that money? And he's been doing what we want him to do.
And I forget what article it was. He was saying MLB, just like Twitter, never is like, hey, look at this JD Martinez. He's not like a sexy name.
Yeah, he's not a
Giancarlo Stanton or Aaron Judge or Mike Trout. But yeah, he's been well worth it. All right.
I like these Boston teams are just New England teams.
This is what it's like here.
It's just crazy to me.
I know.
It's crazy.
You're spoiled.
This year has been crazy.
So Patriots get to the final game.
Super Bowl.
Celtics get to the final 4. Bruins get to the final 8. Red Sox made it to the final.
Red Sox
6.
went on that crazy winning streak to start the season. They made it to the final 6 last year, but
Astros,
this year I'm saying they lost, or they're projected to be a.
Well, they have the most wins in the Bigs right now, tied with the Yankees for first, but most wins. All right.
That's going to be a topic soon. Yankees, Red Sox. I feel like the Yankees are just getting so much more. This is not a topic.
So much more
attention,
love.
And they're just a sexier.
Well, New
York, Yankees, Judge, Stanton. They're just slamming those balls out of the ballpark.
Have you been to Yankee Stadium before?
No.
Neither have I. The new one. I've been to the old one. I wore a Yankees suck T-shirt there in high school, thinking I was cool. Tony's laughing. What an idiot! Granted, I was 18 years old.
So dumb.
Literally wore a Yankees suck. These guys in the men's room were gonna kill me. Like literally wring my neck out. These dudes from the Bronx.
Yeah, I would never do that again.
I thought it was cool. It was not.
It was
smart
not funny.
In hindsight.
Just wearing a Red Sox apparel is probably risky.
It's more respectful now. It's like when you wear that St. Louis Cardinals hat to. Are they coming? They're not coming this year, are they?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
I should check. All right, that'll do it for Double OT. Catch the full episode online on WPRI.com. We're on a brief hiatus from iTunes. Got to get Lee on
Oh,
this.
I know, we got to get my face too.
Yeah, the silhouette. All right. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next
Thanks.
time.